Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're checking out a premium Bandai HG Gundam kit here. It's D Gundam First here. It's Bandai. It's one of the latest releases out from P-Bandai. It's another one of these like completely new original kits that is unfortunately a premium Bandai exclusive, but it looks really awesome. Not a design that I was familiar with before the announcement of this kit, but this is from the Double Fake Under the Gundam series. I don't know if any of you guys are all that familiar with it. It's a pretty obscure one, but hey, it's awesome to get obscure stuff like this in model kit form. Sucks that it's P-Bandai, but let's go ahead and check it out here for today's video. And so because this is a premium Bandai kit, there's nothing really too much to see here on the sides of the box, just D Gundam First, along with the monochrome image there of the built and painted model kit, and there it is in an action pose over there. A very interesting design for sure, with some very interesting weapons and gimmicks, sort of like, well, I don't even know, I was gonna compare it, but I honestly don't even know what to necessarily even compare it to. So let's just get it opened up and check out the contents inside so that we can get to building the kit. So our instruction manual, it looks like, is going to be a P-Bandai style, very simple, no frills, no color photos. We've got our parts list here. Somewhere in here we've probably got our color guide right there as well. Obviously not in color, but that is there in Japanese and in English, so if you want to check the English for matching the colors exactly. But here is all of our instructions for assembly. Pretty standard high-grade instructions, even though, I mean, it's a very unique design, but I'm sure the assembly is not going to be probably anything too mold breaking, although I could be wrong about that. We'll find out. We do have some foil stickers in here for the eyes, a couple of camera bits, and a few little small yellow color apps, but that's about it, so not too bad as far as the sticker sheets go. And inside here we've also got two black wires included, one 15 centimeters in length and one 19 centimeters in length. The 15 centimeter one does seem to be a bit stronger and more malleable, with the longer one, the 19 centimeter one, just being more softer, doesn't really hold a form quite as well. And then no polycaps, but we do have some clear pink beam saber effect parts here, runner SB13, and runner A, a nice big 4-color runner here, and some sort of standard Gundam colors for our internal frame. It's going to be definitely a very bluish gray color here. We've got some standard red, standard blue over here on the side, and then the yellow is definitely in a little bit darker of a yellow color there, maybe slightly orangish yellow in tone. And then runners B1 and B2 are going to be the rest of our blue-gray parts there for the frame and equipment parts. Runners C1 and C2 are all of our white parts for the kit, runner C2 being a copy of this half of the runner here. And then runners D1 and D2 are the rest of our parts here, including some weapons parts. That middle section right there is doubled up, and all these parts here in a dark navy color. And that's it for everything here in the box. Let's go ahead and get it put together and we'll check it out. Alright guys, here is D Gundam First, and what a really cool build. I really enjoyed this build, really impressive HG. Such a shame that it's a premium Bandai release, that it's not more accessible for people, but this is another one that I did post a build log for my Patreon supporters there on Patreon if you want to check that out, where I shared some more photos and thoughts from the building of this kit. But it is just really impressive. A very unique design that may not appeal to everyone, so if you're not super into the design, I mean, this may not be for you, but just from a completely objective standpoint, this kit is really impressive. The color separation, the lack of seam lines on this, the stickers, you do have a few stickers on there, but they're really minimal, and some of them are like tiny for small little color apps, but like the built-in color separation you have with this is just really impressive. So it's a cool kit with some even cooler accessories here, so let's go ahead and check those out here too. All right, you guys are gonna have to forgive me as I'm gonna do my best with this weaponry here. Some of it's pretty simple, some of it's a bit more confusing because of all the different accessories that we have with this thing. I've been like looking at the wiki and also just like trying to find online good information to describe the weaponry accurately here to you guys. But for example, our beam sabers, we've got two of these with this attachment piece, which is used to be able to attach this here onto this hard point on the side skirt. So you could have one plugged onto either side there, and then we've got our two clear pink beam saber effect parts for using with those when held in the hand. And then on the note of the hands, you can see we just have our standard holding hands. On here we do have a third hand option, this being sort of a very specifically shaped open hand here, and it looks like this is for holding what I think are the dummy shell units right here in there, those little white balls. Those can pop out and they're kind of difficult to actually get these out of here because, well, let's just take a look at the shield kind of more generally here for a moment. So just on the front of the shield, a lot of nice detail on there. You can see we have the color separation of the yellow piece poking out through this dark blue piece for that detail right there, and then this dark blue backing piece coming out for those little details here on the front side of the shield. So really nice looking shield, and then it looks really cool here on the back as well, with these being the large bird lime shells. I think either that or I could have the two of those mixed up anyway, but those are also removable. There's not really anything that you're going to do with those if you pop those out, but hidden underneath these two panels here are two of our other handheld weapons here. So if you pop this off of here, you can see inside is a weapon, which when it comes to like weaponry, I think I was reading that the shotgun here, which is just a beam shotgun, is its only real like main weapon. The rest are not necessarily weapons, but more so like equipment that can be used like weapons. So imagine basically using like a rivet gun or like a nail gun as a weapon, something sort of like that, which I'm not sure if that's what this is or not, but anyway, that attaches into there. And then in the top panel up here, if we remove that panel, you can see up in here is, I think this is our magnetic anchor gun here. So this one has this really cool detail here that will come off, and then we can use our long black wire here with that. We'll plug one end onto where we took that off of there, the other end into here like that, and then we've got that on a wire, which is very cool. And then here, like I was saying before, we've got these little white bits, which when removed will fit nicely into this open hand like here. Now, not super securely. I think it would have been a good idea to have like an actual peg, some kind of little detail there in the hand, because if you just have it just kind of like resting like that, it'll hold it, but it won't like hold on to it very well. And I gotta say, honestly, also just a little bit disturbed at how much those just look like big beady eyes sticking out on the back side of the shield.
It looked like this.
But moving right along, because we do have more to talk about, this gun here, which I'm not sure if this is the rivet gun or not, or what this one is actually meant to be, but this is just another handheld weapon here. And this one also doesn't have any particular gimmick to it or anything, so it's just kind of, it is what it is. It doesn't plug anywhere onto the kit when not in use. But then we do also have the drill gun. The drill gun has a couple of yellow stickers for that detail right there. When not in use, this has a tab here on the side, so you can actually plug that onto the side skirt, just like with the beam saber handles there. So when not in use, that can just be stored on there like that. But when in use, that same wire part that we used before for the magnetic anchor can also be used for this one by separating the front and back half like that, and again just installing this wire piece in between, and then you can have your wire guided drill gun here like that. Now the drill gun also has this other wire. Now this wire will plug into the back. Notice that little hole right there, that will plug into the back of there, and it actually plugs into the backpack here on this side. And you do have that hole on the backpack on both sides, so whether you're using this weapon in the left hand or the right hand, with either side you can plug the wire into the backpack from the weapon. And this wire also connects from the backpack to this weapon, which we saw before there like that. Alternatively, for the magnetic anchor accessory here as well, this is meant to plug into the back of that and plug into the backpack. So these are all meant to just kind of be, well, not all, but as you can see, some of them are meant to be plugged into the backpack using this wire here, which again, you have this one long wire, but you could cut that down into two shorter lengths because it doesn't necessarily need to go that far from just being held in the hand to the backpack there. But wait, there's more, because we do also have these, which looks like a little earbud there. The little yellow circles are stickers on there, and these, when not in use, can plug onto these slots on the back skirt right there. We're gonna plug one here on one side and the other onto the other side there like that for storage when not in use. And this yellow part here is a handle. So this one, there's not really much that you can do with that other than just being stuck on there. But this one with the handle, you guessed it, can come off, and we can use our wire. Just we'll take it off of there, off of the drill gun. I guess you could use it just with this handle right to the drill accessory there, but we'll take that off of that. And then this can be used as a wire guided, not necessarily weapon, but accessory here as well. So there's a lot of different stuff that we have with this one that can do a whole lot of different stuff, between using the wires to attach to the Gundam's backpack and using wire guided different stuff. But there is more going on with the actual kit itself here too. That's just all of the kind of like external accessories here on the kit. Obviously on both sides of the arm, you'll notice we have these knuckle parts here, which is basically just sort of a melee sort of punching weapon here, or just kind of a thing to fold down over the hand to protect the hand for it to be able to punch. And you have that here on both sides. And then just to talk about the kit here in some more detail about the rest of our stickers. So you do have stickers for the eyes and for the head camera on the front, and a tiny little head camera here on the back side as well, a little metallic green sticker there. Here on the chest, you have a little red sticker right there. Over here on the other side of the chest, that little yellow bit, that's actually a piece of, it's a hole in the blue part, and the yellow plastic from underneath is actually poking through. And then down here on the front of the waist, we have two little yellow stickers, one right there in the center, and then a teeny, super tiny one that goes right there for that little yellow accent there as well. But otherwise, like these yellow accents here up on the shoulders, that's an actual yellow piece. And you have that little dark, like little thruster part up inside of that yellow part, and then the yellow part is inside these like blue-gray parts there. The seam line, or what would be a seam line, is just made up as a panel line detail there, so no seams to worry about. Even this part there on the top of the chest, like right next to the head there, it's a separate yellow piece, and then a separate little, like that horizontal little piece that crosses over the front of that is a separate piece. So you can imagine on other high grades that would just be a sticker or something, or just like not just a molded detail without any color separation at all. So the color separation on this is really impressive. The red that you have here for in and around the face obviously is all a red plastic part. It's just only the eyes that take the stickers there. And then for the rest of the construction here, like for the arm and even the lower arm here, even though it's very similar to like an Iron Blooded Orphans kit, not only in just like this middle section here with it having like a very skinny waist with those exposed pistons and stuff in there, but also here in the arms having this exposed like mechanical detail in the forearms. A lot of the Iron Blooded Orphans Gundams had similar details as well, but then they also came with seam lines on those parts. But this is again engineered in a way to hide the seams among the details here, and even on the back side. So even on the back side, their Bandai tends to be a bit more, I don't want to say lazy necessarily, but they don't care quite as much about hiding seams if it's on the back side of the arms and legs. But even on this one, there's no seams on the back of the arms even there at all. And the same thing goes for the legs. What would be a seam line here between the front and back half of the armor panels there for the thigh is made up as a detail, like panel line detail there. And then here on the lower legs, again, it's just all panel line details instead of having any seams anywhere. On the bottom side of the feet, you do have a little bit of a hollow gap there, like at the toe, and on that little bit of section of it right there. But otherwise, I mean, just the construction of the kit is just really nice. Just the way that this was designed, it was designed so well. Let's talk a little bit about the articulation here as well then, as that's also a really nice point of this. So you do have a double joint. Let's talk a little bit more about the articulation of this, as that's also another really nice point of this kit, is you do have a double joint here in the neck. So you're able to get the head up really high there for doing a flying pose like that, and then all the way down there, and of course rotation to the side. For our torso section here, you have a pretty nice ab crunch moving forward, back, and side to side. Even with those piston parts in there, they kind of work in a way that they're basically just kind of fit up into the torso, and so they don't really get in the way of anything. With that being able to move side to side is again something that's really impressive here for an HG kit. The shoulder will be able to swing pretty far to the front there, as you can see. You can also move that shoulder armor up independently, and the upward movement of the arm is going to be a little bit limited, as you can't really get it up any higher than just like 90 degrees there, but of course you can rotate that at the bicep. And a double joint in the elbow is going to give you a pretty full bend there, more than 90 degrees. It's not like a complete 180 degree bend just because of the armor details, just because of the way the armor is there. The wrist is just on a ball joint, and then as we saw, this part here just folds over the handle like that. The front skirts are molded together, but you can clip them in the center to separate those for independent movement. Underneath the front skirts, there is like some molded detail, but you know, with it being an HG, it's not going to be like looking the best. Underneath the back skirts as well, it's just kind of plain, and those are just going to be fixed. It's just like one solid piece there for the back skirt section. The side skirts, these just little kind of connection bits here, basically, those are on ball joints, so you can move those around a little bit. The backpack here, the thruster bells are stuck in place, and these parts up here can move up and down, but that's it. Unfortunately, you can't like change the angle of these. It would have been nice to be able to like put them more out to the side, but they essentially will just move up and down. That's it, but still really nice detail on those parts there as well. The hips do have a joint that will allow them to swing farther down and then ultimately bring the legs farther to the front. You have rotation here at the top of the leg as well. You can bring the leg all the way out to the side. up to the front pretty far there as well. When you bend the knee, you have a double joint here in the knee. No separation of this knee armor, but that double joint will allow for a really nice full bend there as far as that can go before the armor piece on the back of the leg starts to hit the back of the thigh armor right there. And it's really cool how the shape of that is made to match. So if you just see like the shape of the back of the thigh armor when the knee is totally bent, it's like a perfect match of that shape there. That's a really cool little detail. And then going down here to the feet, you have a little bit of movement side to side there for the feet, being able to get the feet at like a wider angle while keeping the feet flat on the ground. You have a separation of the front part, which is actually just on a ball joint, so that will kind of move around a little bit on its own, mostly just kind of up and down for being able to point the toe farther down like that. But ultimately, the entirety of the foot can only move like a little bit forward and back there, it would seem. But some nice detail with the design of the leg being designed in a way to make it look like you have this like exposed mechanical structure there of like the pistons and everything here on the leg. It's a really cool design for sure. And so obviously with the amount of accessories that this kit has, there's a lot of different posing options that I could show you, but there's going to be even more so than what I can show just in this video. Just there's a lot of different stuff that you can do with this kit between all the different accessories that it's got. And that is one thing that I do kind of dislike about this, is that I wish in the instruction manual it told you what the different parts of it were, just because it's a pretty obscure Gundam. I feel like before this kit came out, most people didn't really even know what this Gundam was or that it even existed or anything. I feel like this kit is most people's first exposure to this Gundam, and so in that case, I wish that there was a bit more information in the instruction manual. I know that with it being a premium Bandai kit, usually the instruction manuals are going to be like pretty simple. They don't put a whole lot of stuff in them, but at least putting like the names of the weapons or the names of the accessories in there would have been really nice, so we at least know like what's what. Like I can look on the wiki and it says, okay, for handheld armaments, it's got a rivet gun, a large torch gun, a large birdlime shell, a beam shotgun, and wired bombs. So obviously the beam shotgun's pretty easy to figure out what that is, but some of the other stuff, it's like I don't know exactly which one is supposed to be the rivet gun or the large torch gun or whatever. So not having that in the manual is kind of a shame, just because it's, if you like wanted to familiarize yourself with the different stuff that you're building, if you bought the kit, you might have to do a little bit more searching to find that information online. So other than that, I mean, as far as the kit itself goes, it's absolutely fantastic. And as I said before, it's just one of those situations where it's a real shame that it's just a completely original kit, no recycled parts, and it's done really, really well. The construction of it, the articulation, the details, just the overall design of this kit is just so nice. And it comes with so much stuff. It's a real shame that this is a premium Bandai release that won't be, you know, widely available to a lot of people. And it will also come at a higher price. But that said, I think this is definitely one of those HG kits that's absolutely worth a higher price for it. Now, obviously, if you're paying, you know, double, triple, quadruple the MSRP for it, I mean, there will come a point where it's not worth it. But if you feel a bit squeamish about paying a high price for an HG kit, this is one that I would definitely say would warrant, you know, a little bit higher price tag on it, definitely. So I think the kit is fantastic. Definitely would feel comfortable putting it up there as like one of the best HG UC kits that you can get your hands on, at least at the moment, just because it pretty much has everything going for it and nothing really, no major complaints, no major seam lines or anything, nothing like really feels like it's missing from the Gundam. Of course, having an action base included would have been nice, but as we know, that's just not commonly included, although it would be nice if Bandai did include those more usually with like premium Bandai releases like this. At any rate, the kit is awesome. Let me know what you guys think of it down in the comment section below, and if you want to check out some more Gunpla for yourself, you can check out the link in the video description to USA Gundam Store. Got all sorts of great Gunpla there on the website, and tools and paints and supplies and all that good stuff, so check that out. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and make sure that you're subscribed if you're not yet subscribed. I really appreciate all your guys' support. Thank you so much. Until next time, hope y'all are having a great day. See you guys later. Bye-bye.